Hi, how are you today? My name is Ines Benvenuto Cosi. I welcome you to my channel. As per the videos on this channel, I will be walking you through how you could make money on Upwork as a freelancer, but also not only Upwork. We will talk about other platforms as we move along, as we gain a little bit more confident on Upwork. So for me, I regard Upwork as one of those safe, very safe places that you could learn as a freelancer, and also easy to use, very user-friendly platform that you could learn how to be a freelancer from. Oftentimes, you would find that once you get started on Upwork, you don't want to leave Upwork. It's so comfortable. You would find that you'd rather just continue working on Upwork, and that's absolutely fine. I mean, most of the jobs that I've found in my life have been on Upwork. But for the sake of variety, we will talk about other platforms that are available that will give you more options on how you can find work online. So I wanted to talk about cover letters and how you could get jobs on these platforms. However, I thought of talking about safety measures first before we delve into, how you could submit a proposal. So because I care so much about your safety and also because Upwork cares so much about your safety, I thought this video was of the utmost important. And I want for you to take this video a lot more serious than any of the videos that I've uploaded. Because without understanding the safety measures you need, you could easily get scammed, and nobody wants to have that feeling going on. Now, with scamming, we live in the world where a lot of people, idiots that want to steal from people, are everywhere. Even, here in Malawi, I've had WhatsApp conversations with a lot of other people to say, oh, there's somebody advertising for a job at an NGO, but they want for you guys to pay him. That's scamming people. So to avoid you going through such experiences just so you get a job, I am going to walk you through some of the things to look out for to avoid. You will have thousands of jobs on Upwork. If you copy the strategy that I shared with you, and if you follow the strategy that I shared with you, you will not lack for anything. You will have an abundance of jobs. On Upwork, there are jobs for every type of field you can or expertise you can think of. There isn't a need to pay somebody for your work that for you to get a job. There isn't a way, there isn't a need for any funny business before you can get a job. You can get a job in the most straightforward ways. But it's important for you to understand how to stay safe so that nobody would entice you to doing something that is, first of all, illegal, but maybe also, secondly, that could get you banned off Facebook, sorry, on Upwork. But thirdly, also something that would get you to lose money because you've been scammed. I don't want you to get scammed. So pay attention to some of these points that I'm raising to you so that we make sure you and your money is protected. So I'm going to share my screen real quickly to walk you through some of the things that I want for you to pay attention to as you are browsing on jobs on Upwork, but also as you engage with clients on Upwork. First and foremost, Upwork Academy. Upwork Academy is your go-to everything for everything on Upwork. You could go to Upwork Academy. I know I have tried to cover a lot of information from Upwork Academy into my tutorials because I've been doing this for such a long time, and also because I create courses for various institutions, and so it's easy for me to cover a lot of ground through my tutorials. But that being said, you still need to you physically go through these courses to see that your comprehension of all of the things that I've listed on the videos matches with the information that you have been given on Upwork. So some of these courses are literally like 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours long, or even less, like 10 to 15 minutes, 45 minutes, that sort of thing. They're 20 to 25 minutes. You can go over these courses on a Sunday like today, where you don't have a lot of work or you don't have a lot of things to do. Just go over one or two courses every week. Before you know it, you'd have completed this program, these courses. They not only help you on Upwork, uh, much as they reflect what I have already covered, but still, you can always do with some revision. But most importantly, Upwork also rewards those people that complete these programs. You would get some achievement awards, and so on that go towards maybe earning a connect or two. Connects are very important. I'll go into some detail when we cover, writing a cover letter. But for now, understand that these are very important tools that have been given to us by Upwork to help us, understand better what is expected of us. Now, moving along, it's very important for you to understand that you do not have a need to talk to a client outside of Upwork. Any client that tells you to talk to them or to give them your WhatsApp number or talk to them outside of what Upwork can potentially be a scammer. And I'm saying this potentially because there are several elements that add up to somebody wanting to scam you. But if you ensure that you communicate with someone on Upwork, and I'll show you the many ways you can communicate with someone on Upwork, with a client on Upwork, you also will find that there isn't a need to walk away from Upwork to talk to the client. Some clients will try to be funny and say, I want to talk to you on my WhatsApp, or I feel better if we talk on email. There isn't a need. On here, if you wanted a Zoom conversation with a client, you can just click this phone icon and talk to a client on Zoom or call the client directly. So don't mind this account. This is Kondwani. He's here in Malawi. He's a freelancer. He's not an employer, but he is somebody that I want to be working with in future. I have attempted to try and nurture talent that are doing exceptionally well on Upwork. And I know in a couple of weeks' time, maybe around first week of November, I will create a Zoom meeting for those people that I feel are doing exceptionally well with my tutorial so that we can talk about serious opportunities that would require, that sort of level of Django, so to speak. So I will be trying to gather those type of people and keeping them in my network. So hence this person. Anyway, but I want to just demonstrate what you can do on Upwork if you're wanting to reach out to a customer, to a client. So apart from Zoom, you could record with Loom. Recording with Loom is if you click that, you could demonstrate things that you can do using video, because sometimes you want to demonstrate to a client that, oh, you've got headsets first, maybe, or maybe you have you're able to use some system very well, some CRM system or whatever system that you want to demonstrate to a client using that video without having to submit some of your work so that the client would not get your work for free. So you have options to demonstrating. You can also use Vocaroo. Like for me, when I'm doing customer service jobs, I normally submit my application with a quick. So I normally add one or two audios on how they can work with me. I'll show you that as we go along, but it makes life a little bit easier when you have these resources. Vocaroo is one of those things when you want to just add something to your application that you feel is necessary. Like for me, I don't want to type a lot of things. So I'll just add a voice recording or even a Loom recording to demonstrate my expertise to someone. So you can also attach documents here from your Dropbox or from your computer, you can, or from your phone, you can attach information here to that person. You could share links on here. You could share pretty much everything under the sun on here without having to talk to that person to your email or talk to that person on your WhatsApp or even um, any means of communication outside of Upwork. So there isn't a need for you and I to talk to our clients outside of Upwork. If, for example, a client says, "Oh, could we have a WhatsApp call?" or "I feel better with email communication," gently advise them that it's not advisable to talk outside of Upwork, and could it be okay for them to just use Upwork to communicate with you? If they don't understand, demonstrate to them that it's very possible for them to talk to you either on Zoom right here or as a dialer meeting. This is a dialer meeting where you can talk to someone as though you're talking to them on the phone, or even write a message and so on. Indicate to them that with the fact that there are a lot of scammers on Upwork, it's important for us to remain safe. So we should talk on here on Upwork. That conversation will go very quickly, but you will be safer for it. Number two, you will have clients that say, hi, I want to know that you're very good at what you can do and that the work that I'll give you would be done very well. So I want for you to give me a free sample. There's no such thing as free work on Upwork. You charge them something. You would say that Upwork does not allow for you to ask me for work for free. So if you need for me to give you a sample, I need for you to pay for that sample of my work. Even if it's a tiny milestone that they want to see how well you can work, they need to pay for that. Nothing on Upwork is for free. Don't allow for anybody to ask you for work for free. That is unacceptable behavior. If they want to try out, okay, I know that especially for people like in IT or engineers and whatnot, you have jobs that are upwards of 6 million or 10 million Malawi kwacha per particular milestone, per particular project. Those are large projects, and a lot of people would then worry about giving such a large project to someone who hasn't demonstrated whether or not they are good for doing that. So if you're going to offer a sample, at least at the very least, charge something $10, $20, $100, $50. But at the very least, that client has to show in good faith that they're committed to your services. So nothing for free, please, nothing for free. Moving forward, you also would have somebody who wants to be funny and say, I have a laptop that I want to give you for this work, for this project, but you need to pay $200 so that I know that it could safely arrive to you. Or some other funny conversation towards that, where they're asking you to pay some money for you to get some work, or to pay some money for you to get something. Say no, walk away. Actually, report that person. Definitely report that person. That person is a scammer. What they would do is they would get your money and they walk away from you. And then you will also find that there are some clients that have had so many job opportunities opened, and they would probably have been on Upwork since 2013 or 2014. I have somebody here that I wanted to call, if I can still see their application. I can't. But you would normally find somebody who has had a long history of, being on Upwork as a client, but they haven't had one job that, is showing on their profile, something like, so if you've had a job, it shows something like this. So these are in progress, in progress. And this person has been on Upwork since May. So this is the client. It says they've been on Upwork since May. And already they have two jobs. That's the conversation you want to find from a client who is serious. So in May, immediately they hired somebody and they've spent money on that person. But they've hired somebody, they've spent money on that person. So even if they don't even have reviews, but at least you can see with the time that they started working on Upwork, they've hired some people. So in a few months' time, they would likely have, good reviews from that. But if they have, they've hired, so it would show somewhere here that maybe they've posted some jobs or maybe they've hired somebody. So if you notice this here, information telling you that they have hired, let's say 5 or 10 people, but you will not see any of those 10 people down here. Be very worried about those people. Be very worried about those clients. Those are scammers. So keep away from those people. Why have they not had history on Upwork? So if you come across such people, talk to them about the dangers of scamming. And then if they're resistant to working with you on Upwork, walk away from them. Upwork charges 20% when you're starting out. 20%. And when you've had some time on Upwork, it lessens to about 10% and so on. So for me, I would rather lose 10% of my money to Upwork, knowing that I'm protected, other than for me to lose all of my earnings. It doesn't make any sense. So please, please, please ensure that you are safe. Don't let people tell you otherwise about, oh no, I know Upwork takes out some money, so you shouldn't want for us to get paid or for us to pay you on Upwork because I don't want you to lose out on money. It's 20%. You know, in Malawi, we pay what, 30% of our money to taxes. It's more or less the same concept, but I'd rather have my money safe than to play around with the odds of taking a client outside of Upwork so that they screw me when they mess with my money and then I don't have a way to report that because you can't report something that you took outside of Upwork. How are you going to report that? Hi, Upwork. Yeah, somebody stole my money, but I wasn't working with them on here on Upwork, but it was outside of Upwork. So that is a loss. You take that loss. I don't want you to take that loss. Follow instructions. When you are working with Upwork, you are safe. You have this payment verification. Payment method verification is when a client commits their credit card on there. So they have credit card information. Nobody's going to run away when they've got credit card information attached to that conversation of a job. So it's easy for Upwork to follow up on discrepancies if someone has verified their account with you. So verified accounts, very important. Please, I rather work with everybody who has a verified account payment method. I don't, there are some people that are just starting out. I also then don't want to work with an employer who's just starting out on Upwork. I know that sounds funny, but I just don't want to be the guinea pig for people, you know, for a company to try out their luck on me. I don't really want to do that. So I keep away from clients who are unverified, maybe because they're not aware that they should be verified. But I rather like to see one or two jobs that they have engaged in before I throw myself to their mercy. Because a lot can happen. I will explain in some detail why this is very important, why I keep away from clients who have not had one or two jobs on their profile. Because a lot can happen. They could be a terrible client. We've heard of this in Malawi. We've heard of clients that are so terrible that you can't really work with them. Those clients keep away from them. All they can do is get you a bad review. There's a reason why I do not have a bad review. It's not just my performance. Yes, I give 100% of my performance, but I also meet clients who have had 100% from their end. It's a two-way thing, when you're working. It's you giving 100, they giving 100. So, for example, there are some clients who do not communicate very well, who give you something that doesn't make any sense, but you've already gone into a contract with them. And when things go sour, they'll write a rotten review for you because they're just a very sour person. So normally I say that if someone has dealt with other people before and they've had reviews, so like I'm talking about these people with the 5 stars. So let's just look at that for a second. You will find that the 5 stars are reciprocal, meaning they gave 5 stars to somebody who is Gabrielle and they received 5 stars from Gabrielle. Do you see what I mean? Here also they gave 5 stars and the freelancer didn't give any feedback, but I'm sure if the freelancer was aware, he would probably have given them 5 stars. Similarly, with all of these, I want to work with this person because I know, they've dealt with freelancers, they know what they're doing, they have had all this history and they've spent all that money. This is a beautiful looking client that I want to work with. I'm excited wanting to work with this type of client who has, payment protection methods on point. They've always consistently, out of 31 reviews, they've had almost 5 stars from all of those 31 reviews. That's good numbers. I want to work with him. 102 jobs posted, 44% higher rate. So out of 102 jobs, 44% of that's a good rate. You've hired, 44% of 102. Those are very good numbers. $7,000 already spent. I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that. That is the client that I want to work with. So consistently check these things before you throw a cover letter. I do that. Before I throw a cover letter to somebody, I want to come down here and check all of these things. Here, are they allowing for everybody to apply for that job? Because sometimes also, when you're applying for a job and you've clicked the apply bit, it will come up here what you can or you can't do. So they would normally say, oh no, they're only looking for Filipino people or from people from the US, or they're looking for those people that only have 100% job success rate. Bear in mind, If it says exclamation mark here, you don't have this, they're looking for that, don't apply for that job. It could waste your time and your connect by applying for that job, knowing that that person is not looking for you. Okay. So be careful with that. Moving back to that. So you would tell the difference between somebody who hasn't had a single review or who hasn't had a single good thing, from someone else. Those are worrying people. I was trying to find one who has had bad reviews so that you can appreciate what I mean. There are employers there that would not have a single. So these are the people that have payment unverified. I keep away from those people. So he has already even put unrealistic figures here. So for me, I would flag this person as a dangerous person on Upwork because you can't give See, they've just done everything wrong. They're not supposed to provide the website to you. They've done pretty much a lot of things that are not right. They haven't verified their payment. For me, if I was a researcher, if I applied for this job, I would try and have them understand the importance of verifying that. Let me see how long they've been on Upwork. So they are new. That's why. So they've been on Upwork just recently, and this is their first job. So if this was something that I wanted desperately and I was gonna apply for, I would ask them to verify their payment before I did anything for them. These guys, because that is worrying for me. The fact that they've put it sounds like a good job, but I also don't like clicking onto people's websites about job descriptions because the least they could do is just give you an interview and talk to you about all of this. The reason why there's some email links or website links that have viruses and that would all hack your emails, and your emails are normally linked to your payments. So that also is something that I would not encourage you to do. That's a very good example of one of those things where somebody says click here to find it. Why can't they just copy that description and put it here, or put it as an attachment? If anything, I would say, hi, could you give me the description as an attachment or something towards that? But I don't understand why they went and put it on the website instead of just making life easy for everybody. Clicking on links and whatnot could get you in some funny issues later on. So if you click on an email, sorry, if you click on a website link that you feel it belongs to somebody who is scamming you or who wants to scam you potentially, just go over and change your password. Um, I'll show you when we're doing the financial things how you can change your password to make sure you are regularly changing your password to avoid things like scamming and whatnot. So normally I hear that those people that give you links for you to use so that they take money from you or they scam you in some funny way, would normally want to hack your Upwork profile using that link that you clicked so that they're in. So when you click that, it's like it's opening a password to them to use to open your Upwork and to check things. So rule of thumb, if you have clicked a link that you were not conscious of and you realize you've done that, just go straight ahead and change the password and don't click that link ever again. Otherwise, for me, if I'm talking to a client, they're asking me all kinds of things. I'll go, can you save it on a Google Drive, what do you call a Google Drive document? And then I just copy the link and share it with me. I'd rather use Google Drive documents than their website links, if you know what I mean, if you see the difference there. Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever is fine. The website links and everything, not so much. Not everyone who's going to give you a website link is funny or anything, but there are some website links. I think I should record a video of some of the website links that hackers use after this particular video. Sometime tomorrow I will record. There are some ways how hackers use links, and those links, I think maybe this has HTTPS and it's quite fine, but there are some links that people use that can potentially hack you. So that's also something that we have to be aware of. But that link, that tutorial should be maybe tomorrow or someday. Not today. Today, just keep away from doing that. And keep away from using unverified clients because it's a dangerous conversation. It means they haven't made any commitment to Upwork to pay you if you get the job. Verified people, they are your best friends. People with 5-star ratings, they are your best friends. People who have spent money before likely are going to spend money on you. So look out on those things. Look out for those things. If they have had a bad review from someone, read that bad review and compare if that was the only bad review they got or if they consistently got bad reviews. So I wanted to find out why they got the bad review. So I'll be So the only recommendation I can make is not to neglect communication. This is important for the achievement objection. So they only had communication problems, but otherwise they were quite okay with a lot of things. And it looks like they improved on that communication. But before that, you see what I meant? They had really poor stars. And I think after they had the bad reviews, they picked up on their speed and they were able to recover and have better reviews after that. So even freelance, even clients learn from their mistakes. They learn and they make do with improvements. But you don't want to be the person they learn from because that means they would also mess up with your star ratings. And I protect my star ratings like, oh, I protect them because for you to get, I'm highly competitive as a person to begin with. For you to get to top rated in such a quick period of time, you can do that. Get to top rated in what, 6, 8 months? You could do that. But you have to follow strategy. You have to follow through with avoiding some of these people because they would just hold you back if they give you a bad review. So protect this because this is what you want to achieve in life. You are building something towards getting something bigger. You understand what I mean? So you can't just do it willy-nilly and allow for people to destroy that for you. So anyway, moving along. There are also some people that will say, we are hiring very quickly. This is an easy job and we're paying you this amount of money. Like, for example, if someone says, I want a data entry clerk and I want to pay them $70 an hour, that's a lie. That's a scam automatically, you know? So look at those things. Look at what they are wanting to pay you against what they are offering. If it's entry level and it's no, that's a lie. So if something is too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. I would just flag that conversation and keep moving. Then there's some, okay, we have Fortune 500 companies on Upwork. So they will have a logo like this. This would show that these are an enterprise client. Enterprise client are Fortune 500 clients. Fortune 500, the big, big dogs in industry across America, across the world. The big, big, the Apple type, the big companies that you would want to work with, the Google types, the Fortune 500 types, they will have this logo. They're advertising on Up. By the way, they're advertising on Upwork. Hey, this is why I say have a strategy because with a strategy, when you build up your, because me, I want to get to top rated plus before I attract these people's attention. That's where I'm going with things. So when you have a strategy to work with, you know, gradually until you get to that level where you're attracting some big dogs like these guys, that becomes a beautiful conversation. See? But there are some scammers that will impersonate, these companies. They would say, oh, I am Coca-Cola in the US and I'm wanting to hire you guys, but they don't have this logo. So this logo will go, at the top. You see where my verification was on my profile, it had, profile verification. Similarly, with clients like this will show on their profile instantly that they are those people. And once that show on their profile, you're good to go. If that is not showing on their profile and they're lying to you that they are, I don't know, they're the Fortune 500 company and they're not exactly a Fortune 500 company, this logo will not show. Okay, so that's just the heads up for that. But there will be some funny people thinking they can scam people by doing that. Lastly, keep away from giving your bank account details to clients on Upwork. Yes, some clients will tell you in good faith that we can move away from Upwork, give me your bank account details and I'll pay you. The challenge is you do not know who is doing things in good faith. That is the challenge. You do not know who wants to just scam you, wants to steal from you, and so on. Normally, Upwork has a system that allows for you to get paid on Upwork. And then you can link that system. I will have a tutorial ready in the next couple of hours where you can link your Upwork payment system to your bank straight here in Malawi, or you can link the same to a bank that will have you pay less cost. If you pay directly from Upwork to your Malawian bank account, you lose out $50. Yeah, I know I hate that conversation. But there are other ways where you could pay less of that amount. So the rates are very low, extremely low, doable low. So I will help you through those processes because it needs for you to understand one thing and the other. But for now, there isn't a need for you to give your a client a bank account detail. There isn't. Literally, they can go on Upwork and click that the payment details are going to be on Upwork. So you don't have to give them your personal details. They don't have to give you their banking details. All of that is done on Upwork without anybody crying at the end of that conversation. Upwork takes out 20% of your earnings at every time you're getting paid. 20% is better than crying, having lost everything. For example, if you earned 1 million Malawi kwacha and they take out 20%, still have quite a lot of money at the end of it. Getting greedy would get you a lot of problems in the end. So for me, stay safe. I want for you to stay safe. If you find that there's somebody who has an account that is funny, please look at this flag here, the green flag. If you see that someone is asking you to give their WhatsApp number here, you can flag that as inappropriate. If you see that someone is asking you to pay them for something, flag that as an inappropriate. If they do it to your email, you could also flag that as inappropriate. Let's see. You could flag, where is that flag for the emails? There's one where you can flag an email as well. I mean, a WhatsApp message as well. Not a WhatsApp message, an inbox communication. If I find it, I'll let you know. But you can flag even an email communication. Oh, maybe here. There are some icons that are hiding under the Zoom thing. But I'll find it and I'll let you know. But there are some ways that you can flag even an email. Sorry, even what do you call it? A text message. But generally, just if you see something that is inappropriate, just flag it and keep it moving and move away from them, because otherwise they would keep you in a lot of trouble. So moving along, examples of cover letters. So if somebody goes, hi, yada, 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 we're looking for, someone to respond to Google reviews, this is how you can go about doing that. So they've set their rate as between $7 to $15. So here is where you can bid whether you feel like $15 would be a decent amount to pay you, or whether you feel like $10 or $5, or sorry, not five, was it starting at seven? So $7 or whatever amount. You can even go higher than $50 if you thought that amount higher makes sense with your expertise. So you click apply now, because you have read the information, you have also gone through the client. When I say gone through the client to check if the client is suitable, is to check this information, how many people they've hired, how much money they've spent, to check this information, do they have any positive reviews? But if they don't have positive reviews, you go back to here. When did they start becoming a member? If it's 2022 and they've only had 2 employees, it's possible they're very new. But if they've been there since 2013, and they haven't had any review, and they've been hiring people and they haven't had, that's a red flag. So things should just, you should think about these things. So when you're happy with everything and you're happy with where they are and you understand the time zones, I talked about time zones in my last video, I'm not going to repeat that. But if you go on Google and check time zones for Miami, for example, it will tell you what are the time zones for Miami. In Florida. So it will tell it's EST, it's Eastern Daytime, it's Eastern Daylight Time. So if you go again, similarly to time zones for, let's see, Bay Area, which is California, it will be a different time zone. It will not see Pacific Daylight. So it's completely different. You'll find that the time that you had here would be very different from the time that you had. So for example, time zone for Miami versus Bay Area, it will tell you the differences. See, where it's 8 o'clock in Miami, it is 5 a.m. in the Bay Area. So the Bay Area is slightly behind Miami on the time zone. So be careful with that. Time zones for Japan, whichever your client is coming from, you want to apply for work. Find out their time zones against your time zone so that you're able to see whether that is a doable conversation for you or not, because you do not want to get a client and they tell you they start work at 8 o'clock and your 8 o'clock and their 8 o'clock are different, but you find that their 8 o'clock you are asleep. Okay, I am used to working at night. I'm comfortable with working at night. But if someone says to me I must start work at 1 o'clock in the night because they're in Australia, that doesn't make sense to me. It won't work. I'll say no, because I'm a night owl. I don't like waking up in the morning, early in the morning. So if I am tired, it will be around 2 or 3 in the night. So I want to sleep from there until morning. I don't want to start working at that time because I'll be tired. Some people are very good with morning. Some people will start working at 1 a.m. in the night and continue until later on because they would have slept before that. It's how you so know what you are as a person before you start reaching out to people. Remember, you do not want anybody to give you bad reviews. Moving along. So once you are here, I have two profiles. So I have a general profile where I talk about my digital marketing expertise and so on. And then I have a general virtual assistant profile. This I created because I wanted to get the easier jobs. See, the easier jobs that I took because I wanted to have reviews. And then once I was tired with that, I went to general profile that says I've got digital marketing skills and so on and so forth. Do you understand? Somebody was asking me about specialization. That's what specialization means. You can divide your specialization into several, depending on what you want to use those profiles for. So you'll find there's some jobs that are suitable for you to apply as low-level person. So you'd use the profile that you created for low-level jobs. Or you want some bit of expertise, you'd use, so it will go to them specific with the job that with the profile that you have that you're wanting to use for that. It's the same way as we write CVs. When you're writing a CV, you'd use one CV for a different job because it's low entry, and maybe you want to add extra information for something else that is, you're reaching out for maybe managerial positions and that sort of thing. And then right here, on here, you set your rate. See, this person's budget was between $7 to $15 per hour, right? So you set your rate. You could set between $15 or $12. So for the sake of this example, let's just set that $12. So Upwork, the 20% Upwork fee is this one, this $2.40. And you come back with $9.60 per every deal that you have. So for me, when I'm setting this rate, I factor in the 20%. So I'll just add a markup of that 20% so that the amount that I want is within the amount that I need without the 20%, because the 20% has been factored into my amount. Okay? So then you don't have to have that client pay you in your bank account directly. They can pay you through here. And this includes Upwork hourly protection, because every hour I work is protected. That money is protected. I'm not going to lose that money. And then here is where you write your cover letter. So I'll tell you one very interesting trick. On these reviews that we saw, where are we? This person at the bottom here, someone would have given them a review with their name if they have had any 5 stars, okay? If they don't have any 5 stars, you could just say hi. You just say hi and then start writing what you want. Da, 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 da. But if they've had any reviews, let me show you a different one that has had any reviews so that you're able to appreciate what I mean. So let's try and look at this particular profile. At the bottom here, somebody has said Alvera blew my mind. So Alvera would be because oh, hang on. I want to be very sure that is the name of the person. No, that isn't. Hang on. I'm trying to find a client who's had a name mentioned in some of those comments, because then this is also very important. It just makes someone feel special when you do that about, the post that they've shared. Aha, here, this is brilliant. So see, they've repeated it. So this person has called the client Malaika, and right here, another person has also called the client Malaika. So I know this person is called Malaika as a client. So I'll go here and apply. And instead of just saying hi there, I will say hi Malaika, because I already know who the client's name is. But it just makes it so nice when you call somebody by the name. See? That's it. If you don't know the person's name, it's fine. You could say hi there. I wanted to share some examples of proposals that I've written before for different type of jobs. See, like for example, this one, I didn't know who this person's name was. So I just said, hi, I believe I can be a good fit for your organization. They were looking for a manager for customer service people. So I said, I believe I can be a good fit for your organization. I'm a very patient, positive individual with excellent listening skills. I have problem solving skills and have an ability to offer excellent customer service. Additionally, I have marketing and sales experience. I look forward to hearing from you. And then I attached a Vocaroo sound recording, because I knew this job involved managing customer service people and we're talking on the phone. So I added a voice recording, not only to demonstrate that my English proficiency was on point, but to also give them some synopsis of what I've done in the past. So I went into detail for like 1 minute, explaining some of the jobs that I've done that I feel he would be interested in. So instantly he was interested, and we did the whole Zoom conversation right here. See what I meant? And then we picked a date and we did the Zoom scheduling. That's one example. Another example was with these guys. They were looking for a sales manager. Again, but they specified that they wanted to see a CV because they were doing it for an educational institution. So they wanted to see a CV of some of the work that you have done from an educational institution point of view as marketing and sales. So then I said I have attached my CV, but also an introduction voice recording. And I went in detail to explain some of the softwares that I've done, like Salesforce CRM, managing leads and delegating work schedules, sales professional, supporting a small team of sales professionals, and so on, onboarding new team members, handling sales, analyzing the sales process to eliminate bottlenecks, and so on, right? And I listed some of the companies that I've worked with in the US, that sort of conversation, and that was it. So here, all I did was attach my CV, which was this one, as a PDF, and attach the audio, and that's all I did. And then they were able to schedule a meeting. So those are the examples of how you can write a CV. Now, what is important, sorry, not a CV, a cover letter. What is important to note is that most jobs on Upwork do not require for you to write a CV. Most jobs. Very few people will ask you for your CV. Most people might ask you to demonstrate the work that you've done before, especially if you're a technical person. They might ask you to demonstrate some of the work that you've done. And this is where the Loom video conversation comes into play, so that you can just record a video of what you've done and what you can do and demonstrate. That's a demonstration. So a demonstration does not mean they would get a copy of your work. That's, I think, the best way to demonstrate anything. Or sometimes if you've done some projects in the past, you could give them some copies of the projects that you've done in the past. I know most of you guys are NGO, IT people, you've had project folders, that you could just put in a video format and show somebody that this is something that you have done. Always lean towards the safety of conversation, because if somebody says, do a demonstration for me and I'll give you my work so that you do it as a demonstration, then ask them to pay for that demonstration. I've had companies that train me for a payment. So they would say, I will pay you and I'll train you. During that, that training, you get paid. That's how companies work. Companies should not get work from you for free. Please be very safe. When you're writing a cover letter, look at the information that has been listed on the, sorry, I keep shaking because my laptop is not stable. I'm not on a table. You bear with me. But it has to be done. But this is a Sunday, so I'm home relaxing. I'm not in the office, hence the pink wall. But anyway, look at the job that has been posted. There will be information in that job that was posted that will give you a hint what that person wants. And what you're doing is not telling that person what you have done. You are telling that person that what they have written is what you can do for them based on these examples. Do you understand the difference? Like if I tell someone, I'm looking for a driver to drive me to Lilongwe, I don't want that person to tell me that, hi, I can cook nsima. I also can do this, I can do that. That is not what I asked. If I said, can you drive? I'm looking for someone who can drive me to Lilongwe. What I need from you is to say, hi, I have a driver's license. I have also what do you call it, this license that you get, not a license, but this training that you get to ensure the safety of others. Um what is it called? It's at the tip of my mind. We were talking about it. Defensive driving. So you could also say, I also have defensive driving to supplement my license. I have been driving for the past 10 years, successfully driving people from companies like, I don't know, list the name of the NGOs that you can list out. I look forward to hearing from you. Do you see how simple it is? But all that conversation has been, this is what I can do for you. And none of it has been, hi, my name is Inez, I live in whatever, and I can, no. Get to the point. Another example, if I said, I am looking for a tutor in mathematics for secondary school students. And then you should not say, hi, I work at a preschool. I'm a teacher from a preschool. That is not what someone has asked. So read what someone has asked in detail. If they say, can you include this in your response? Include that in your response. If they say they're looking for a secondary school teacher for mathematics, you would then say, hi, I'm an expert in calculus, because that's mathematics, correct? And I have been teaching the following high schools. And my specialty is Cambridge curriculum. Do you see, I'm responding to what somebody has directly asked. This is what you should be doing when you're doing a cover letter. Address somebody's question as has been offered. Don't add things that are unnecessary to what they have asked. Always add what you can do in that particular field. If you don't have any work experience, give me 3 days. I will create some simple jobs you can do on Upwork that will enable you to earn money without you lying about things that you can do that you cannot do. But basically, If you're an accounting professional, you could then say, if someone is saying, I'm looking for bank reconciliations or whatever, you'd say, hi, I am an expert in QuickBooks, for example, and I know how to do bank reconciliations, and I can do this and I can do that with banking transactions and make sure, or, what do you call it? Not bottleneck, but catching up on errors and so on. So you are responding to what that person wants, and you are responding by adding things that you can do about that, but not to lie. You don't need to lie on Upwork. There's so many jobs available there. And I keep saying this, and it's extremely true. On a weekly basis, I get about 4 or 5 offers that I can't even meet because I have done a strategy that enables me to get to that level. But listen and pay attention to this. You have to answer exactly what somebody has asked you and expand on that answer by giving them examples and points and softwares that you have used to enable you with that, so that it shows that you know what you're doing. Okay. So when they say, can we have an interview? You are able to prepare yourself to respond to the questions based on the information that you've given, based on the questions that they've asked. Otherwise, good luck with the cover letters. We are going to talk about money in my next video.